Bob.
And I'm Barb, and together we make up
HetteshWorld.
Today we're doing another Am RV park review.
This is 1,000 Trails Lake Tawakoni in Point, Texas, just northeast of Dallas.
Stay tuned. We're Bob and Barb. We've lived by the rules all of our lives, but in 2020 we threw that rule book out the window. We sold our home and moved full-time into an RV with our cat Amelia, and from now on we will be living life our way. Don't you want to come travel in our world?
We traveled to this park in October on a very stormy day. The park lies between Dallas and Fort Worth. It has large, beautiful sites that are wide open.
It has 480 acres of oak trees, and it is known as the best fishing and bird watching area, which is true because they had pterodactyls there that we found out, or cranes as they're known as today, but the best fishing and bird watching that there is in Texas. Map of the park, and now we're going to take you on a little bit of a ride, but I will tell you they do have 6 miles of shoreline, which you'll kind of see here in and out as we go. So coming up here we have
Propane filling station.
Yeah, most of them are pretty good. You set it out there, they fill it, you come back and get it. There was the entranceway. The staff is great. Victoria, you are amazing, and you are great to work with there. Now the first section, which we don't really highlight as much, is a lot of permanents, and they're kind of that whole section, so we didn't videotape that one. And there are other permanents kind of in and out throughout the park. Now what you see here is a driving range, and it also has kind of like a baseball field on the other side. So it's pretty neat what this park offers. Very wide open spaces. Now I believe we're coming up to
Dump station, yeah. This is the dump station, very easy to access. Like some of the parks with a big rig, they're really hard to get into, but this one seemed to have adequate space to be able to get your rig into it.
The rest of the park is definitely open up to 1,000 Trails. It's easy to maneuver around and get here. Now when we first got here, we thought, man, these roads are horrible.
Yeah.
But since we left here, we have learned that these roads are
pretty darn good.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to some of the 1,000 Trails, I mean, they're mostly gravel, some pavement, but some potholes. It was becoming fall, so there was some water in some of the potholes, but they were definitely negotiable compared to some of the parks that we saw later in our travels.
Park itself is a little rough. There's a lot of permanents, and they do take pretty good care of their areas. The road, like Bob mentioned, is a little bumpy, but there's some other areas that just need a lot of attention and love. And when Bob was walking around, he encountered a maintenance guy who was kind of telling him, yeah, they're going to be spending a lot of money on our park next year. We need you to come back, because when you walk around these parks, you can really get a sense of what they used to look like and how beautiful they were. But the buildings are also run down, and then they're shut down for COVID, so they haven't been open in who knows when. So it's beautiful, but it's also a little bit sad. Yeah, there's a couple of them. The ducky, he's really moving. Yeah, I'd say that's one, and that's where they pretty big turtles.
Yeah, they were medium sized. There was like 6 or 7 of them.
I mean, I can see the head there and a head over there, and probably one right there.
Yeah. 2.
Yeah. Might not be very deep right there. So here comes the restroom, and the restrooms were actually very clean. They had a limited staff because of COVID, but they were on top of it. They were friendly, and they kept things clean, and they kept things organized, and it was amazing. We didn't get that at every Thousand Trails park that were at last year.
Yeah, like Barb said earlier, I did run into the maintenance technician. He said that they're wanting to spend a bunch of money on this park, and you could see that with just a little bit of lipstick, this park could look really, really good.
So what you see in front of us is definitely some of the water views that people have. There are a lot of waterfront sites, and they're not all taken up by permanents, which is pretty interesting because in a lot of places, a lot of the good spots are already permanently taken away.
Yeah, in the shallows of the lake, it's got these beautiful lily pads that were just starting to die off when we were there, but it was gorgeous.
Yeah, you'll see that coming up in a little bit. There are some trails throughout the park. They're not very well marked. We only kind of found one, and it wasn't really much of a trail at that point. The activity centers and buildings that you're going to see were all closed for COVID. Some of them, one of them had a whole bunch of Amazon packages inside of it. It's like, I don't know whose packages they were. If you were at this park within the last couple years and you didn't get your package, you might want to call them.
They're all stored there.
They're all stored there.
Here's some of the cabins you'll see here off in the distance.
Yep. The cabins are in very good shape and very well taken care of. And then there's some permanents that have like the little permanent kind of cabins also, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, we always think of the cabins being the bread and butter of Thousand Trails because you seem to see them pretty well maintained.
Yeah, and they have things called getaway cabins, which are a little bit nicer, which our program gives us 1 week for free at a giveaway cabin every year for, I don't know, 5 or 6 more years. And then there are just regular cabins.
Like camping cabins?
Yeah, it gets 50% off. Now, you'll see here that we're kind of driving up here. The cabins kind of go over to the activity center, and here in the activity center area, you have a swimming pool. You have a beautiful bridge that goes out. A lot of people were fishing off that. And they were fishing for what was it again?
Catfish. Yeah, there's 2 walkouts, boat docks that go out, one on one other end of the park. And we ran into several people that night fish for, he said, large catfish. And
you see here, these are the lily pads that Bob was talking about. They had walkways that you could see that were there. Some were uncovered, some weren't. I mean, the lake is basically 38,000 acres, so the park just touches on a teeny part of it. They have shuffleboard, they have a place where you can have picnics and get-togethers. But that building there is kind of rough. I wouldn't want to go inside of it. It hasn't been open for quite a long time.
There was ample dumpsters around the park, too, that we saw.
And the dumpsters were always, emptied regularly, so there was none of the problem we saw in some future parks where you're like, I just have a little bag of trash. Where can I put it? I wanted to show you these because this is just an old-fashioned light. It reminds me of something out of the 60s. And squirrels were everywhere. Like big, fat squirrels. They were not going hungry. That is for sure. Swimming pool. Like I said, there's 2 swimming pools. Both were closed. And then here's the laundry room. This was a pay laundromat, didn't have those silly cards. And then I'm recommending you watch our HetteshWorld tour of Harvers that we did back in October. I'm going to attach a link to that below. And then here we got Bob walking out on the boat dock. Yep. They've got RV storage and boat storage out there. I'll tell you a little bit about the amenities. They, like I said, do have a clubhouse. They have a swimming pool. They're known for all kinds of fishing, all kinds of bird watching. Definitely the RV storage, the boat storage, mini golf, dog parks, playgrounds, cabins. Their Wi-Fi was actually, the internet was actually not too bad here. I was able to get a lot done, and it was pretty enjoyable. Now we're going to be coming up on our RV here, and next to us was an RV, but it's not the RV that I was hoping that was here because they came after we shot the video. And I'm going to talk a little bit about a couple we met, our licensed to travel, Chris and Shelly. And we actually met them, I think, 2 days before.
The night before.
Yeah, we were leaving. They are a fun couple. They do a lot of unique things that are different from us, so it's definitely worth checking out their channel.
They do a lot of travel videos and a little bit of repair stuff.
Yeah, they do these things called shorts. Chris has been trying to teach me how to do them, but I don't do them as well as Chris does. But the shorts that you kind of almost see up on the screen are like a minute less, meant more to be more vertical, so when you're viewing it, it's more pleasurable on a phone. But his are very interesting. It's worth checking out his channel here, and he is really good
at narrating and stuff.
Yeah, he's got one of those radio sexy voices where you're like, la, and it's great. And then he's good at editing and putting things together. The one thing that we are going to forgive them for is that they drive a Grand Design.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Maybe we can get them to come over to the right side at some point.
Everybody has their faults.
Okay, so the last part of the tour, we're going to take you kind of to the back. There is kind of a dump area back there.
Yeah, you'll see on the right side as we pass on the bike, you'll see a dump, like it's got old refrigerators, parts of RVs. So I don't know if it's just a spot they dump. Maybe they sort through it eventually, but right there on the right side, it's just a bunch of garbage.
And when we first turned left, there was a horseshoe thing right there in the corner, which was kind of weird. Now what's back here is a lot of very old campsites.
There's a trail too that comes off to the right back here.
Oh yeah, that's it right here.
Yep.
So we have the trail, and the trail we walked thinking, oh, it's going to be a much better trail than the last one, and we kind of just really walked a little bit and ended up right by the lake.
Yeah, I believe because of the rain we had, it had water going across it and stuff. We didn't want to get our waders on and go out on it.
Yeah, but back here is a lot of old campsites that are kind of just forgotten.
Time forgot because they're growing up around them, and it's creepy at night when you walk around. Some of those lights still come on.
Yeah. And
there's just nobody back there.
And the sites are smaller, so you knew they were for smaller RVs or tents. And then people have left things there over time, like there's floor rugs. And, I don't know.
Stuff sitting on picnic tables, old grills.
And
this is another one of those docks where people walk out and they do the fishing for catfish at night.
And then back here they had another center that was closed. This is actually where they were storing the Amazon packages that we saw. Maybe an old business office or something. Church by the lake or something. Yeah. It is closed for COVID. They're supposed to have services, I think, every Sunday?
Every Sunday, yeah.
But what scared me and Bob is that there was this weird rubber snake above the door.
Yeah, someone's got an old rubber snake screwed in above the door.
Yeah, it's really like... We were scared. We thought, man, I've seen this 70s movie and I'm not going to make it. We need to get out of here. My home can be looking at nothing. It can be looking at a camper next door. There's a lot of space in this park. It's really wonderful. But when you can look out the window and just see the water, and we're just on a lake, we're not on an ocean, but it is just beautiful. So we hope that you like this video. We are working on trying to present it in kind of a more interesting way for you as we're learning. We hope that you will give us a thumbs up. We will hope you will subscribe.
Yep.
We will hope you will comment.
We love the comments.
Yes, comments.
Keep the comments coming. We love them.
So remember, we're HetteshWorld.
Come travel in our world.